Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, Minister of Works and Transport John Mutora yesterday afternoon officially opened the Rundu Trade Fair exhibition. There are 114 exhibitors at this year's expo, Kenya Kambowe reports.
Now, the trade has started, business has started, but we're just adding some kind of an official flavor by cutting this ribbon to symbolize to the world, to our country, and to the town of Rundu that this event, the 2023 Rundu Annual Trade Fair, is now officially and publicly open. So, and we will close, we open the door to see whether there's things to trade or maybe it's just a building.
Miss Namibia organization has revealed that national costume Miss Namibia 2023 Jamila Wiras will be wearing when she represents the country at the 72nd Miss Universe pageant on Saturday, the 18th of November in San Salvador, El Salvador. The costume, named Oryx Diamond, was designed by Namibian fashion designers Mwatile Kapolola and Nadia Wilson. Let's take a look.
The majestic diamond oryx, also known as the Gemsbok, holds significance for the people of Namibia due to its cultural and ecological importance. It is featured on the coats of arms of Namibia as a symbol of our country's unique wildlife and natural heritage. We as Namibians take pride in our diverse wildlife, and the majestic diamond oryx represents resilience, adaptability, and grace. Now, this majestic diamond oryx is a true desert animal and adapts to any harsh climate conditions. During the COVID-19 pandemic, and here I'm quoting her, she says, "I went through a lot of struggles and challenges, but adapted to the shifts." Besides COVID-19, Namibians generally adapt to any circumstances, just like our majestic diamond oryx. Now, it serves as a reminder of the importance of wildlife conservation and sustainable practices, while also promoting cultural identity and pride. The majestic diamond oryx has played a historical role in the livelihood and survival of Namibians as a source of food, clothing, and materials for various purposes.
Now, more than a decade after the initial application was submitted in 2012, Namibia Marine Phosphate applied again for an environmental clearance certificate on the 2nd of October. With this, undersea phosphate mining for its Sandpiper project will be able to begin. Let's take a look.
GDP and employment industries and expansion of services in a wide range of related industries, not just mining, but also into agriculture, into manufacturing, and into the transport and support industries. As you'll see from these projected figures, this is a projected development of a phosphate-based industry, fully integrated for the production of fertilizers over a period of 4 years, assuming that the opportunities to beneficiate upstream are fully developed. The project that we bring to you today by Namibian Marine Phosphate doesn't represent the entire industry. It represents a building block within this industry. Bringing the concentrate to shore in the form of phosphate, marine phosphate concentrate, creates the building block for establishing this full development of this industry. At this point, we'll now take you in and have a look a bit more at the actual details of the project itself.
Now, before we head into the story, please take note that viewers' discretion is advised. A police reservist who was filmed dragging the mother of his unborn child around outside a popular Windhoek night spot will be placed under investigation. The reservist, identified as Valentino Njala, was filmed dragging his female partner around in a video circulating wildly on social media, despite appeals from the woman seen in the video calling on Njala to stop. No criminal cases have been opened, but because the suspect is a reservist who operates under the Police Act and mandate, the police will conduct an investigation. Now, Subdivision has the mandate to investigate in terms of the police manual on conduct and discipline. Namibian police spokesperson Kauna Shikwambi said investigations into the matter had found that Njala and the unidentified woman in the video were in a long-term relationship and that another man had proposed to the victim, a matter Njala could not comprehend. The Landless People's Movement Youth and Student Command condemned Njala's action, asking for his suspension. The command demands the following: that Njala be suspended immediately for the duration of the investigation and subsequently dismissed based on the findings of the investigation, the LPM Youth Command said. Now, moving on, in our Story of the Day segment, the new and improved $12.6 million emergency unit at the Cathedral State Hospital was inaugurated. We'll get a look at this after the break.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
President Hage Geingob this morning officially inaugurated the new and improved $12.6 million emergency unit at the Cathedral State Hospital alongside the MVA Fund and Standard Bank. Geingob said that this shows the commitment of corporate Namibia to ensuring every Namibian receives quality healthcare, which is a fundamental human right. Elizabeth Taibes reports.
Wealth. Health is wealth. Indeed, for a government that is determined to deliver shared prosperity for all, the health and well-being of our citizens remains our greatest assets. It therefore gives me great pleasure to join you today to celebrate a true reflection of the Harambee Prosperity District, Harambee spirit, exemplified by working partnership and collaboration between a government ministry, a state-owned enterprise, and a private sector company. That's the true spirit of Harambee. This renovation project is but a microcosm of the broader steps and interventions by the government to strengthen our public health sector, to make it more accessible and responsive to the needs of our people. The public health sector has been and continues to enjoy top priority of our government. In terms of funding, the Ministry of Health and Social Services received the second highest budget allocation to fund its various activities and programs. We have been and continue to be committed to ensuring that the health sector is resourced and capacitated to recruit the required human resources, to develop physical infrastructure, to procure equipment, and to secure medicines. And clinical supplies required for the effective operation of our health facilities at all times. While there are some challenges currently confronting our health sector, it is encouraging that the relevant officers, ministries and agencies are working at finding solutions for the immediate, medium and long term across public health service areas.
Moving over to community news, the Swakopmund municipality has recently initiated a pilot project involving the installation of CCTV cameras. We'll tackle this on the other side of this.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
The Swakopmund municipality has recently initiated a pilot project involving the installation of CCTV cameras. One camera is located at the intersection of Daniel Kamahau and Rakotoka Street near the traffic lights, while the other is positioned at the junction close to Strongbar, situated at the corner of Friede Riede and Francisca van Niel Streets in Tamariskia. This proactive step is in response to the rising concerns regarding increased criminal activities in the town. Precious Ngiyetwanapo reports.
Yes, Council decided in a crime prevention meeting that we will have CCTV cameras at different intersections and crime hotspots. So there was two companies that was so willingful to give us the green light that they will install two cameras on a pilot project which will run up from today up to end of December this year, so that Council can decide based on the specifications and the price, this is what we want and this is the cost for the whole cameras. It's just to prevent crime, and then at the later stage we want to do traffic law enforcement. So hopefully it will help to reduce crime, and especially when we have accident at this intersection. So the first camera will be installed where we are now busy at Daniel Kamo, Daniel Kamo, Rakatoka and Kubias Neko intersection in the road. The second one will be installed at the Strong bottle store, Francisca van Niel Friede Riede intersection, just for the period for this 2 months.
Thank you so much, Mr. Klute.
According to Economic News, the stock of international reserves has decreased. Stick around for this story after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Now, the stock of international reserves decreased by 3.4% month-on-month to $53.8 billion Namibian at the end of September 2023, compared to $55.6 billion Namibian at the end of August 2023. The Bank of Namibia says the decline is attributable to commercial bank outflows as well as government payments. The foreign reserves translated into 5.6 months of import cover, remaining above the international benchmark and adequate to support the currency peg between the Namibia dollar and the South African rand. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 22.51, against the euro at 19.59, against the US dollar at 18.61. 2 Namibian dollars and 55 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Gold, copper and platinum went down while Brent crude oil went up on the commodities market. Brent crude oil trading at 0.03%, going for $86 and 63 cents per barrel. Getting into our international news, Elon Musk said earlier that an inaugural AI safety summit in Britain wanted to establish a third-party referee that could oversee companies developing artificial intelligence and sound the alarm if they have concerns. The ex-CEO said he is aiming to establish a framework for insight so that there's at least a third-party referee. Musk's comments came after Britain published a declaration signed by 28 countries and the European Union, which set out a two-pronged agenda focused on identifying AI-related risks of shared concern, building a scientific understanding of them, and building cross-country policies to mitigate them. Let's take a look.
We start with insight. I think there's a lot of concern among people in the AI field that that the government will sort of jump the gun on rules before knowing what to do, and I think that's unlikely to happen. I think what we're really aiming for here is to establish a framework for insight, so that there's at least a third-party referee, an independent referee, that can observe what leading AI companies are doing, and at least sound the alarm if they have concerns. I don't know what necessarily the fair rules are, but you've got to start with insight before you do oversight. And here we are for the first time, really in human history, with something that's going to be far more intelligent than us. So it's not clear to me we can actually control such a thing, but I think we can aspire to guide it in a direction that's beneficial to humanity. But I do think it's one of the existential risks that we face, and it's potentially the most pressing one.
Ghana's president has called for reform of the United Nations Security Council, citing conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza. Nana Akufo-Addo described the council as in many ways not fit for purpose. Akufo-Addo also pointed to the conflict in Gaza. He said that while Ghana fully recognized Israel's right to defend itself, at the same time, you have to look at the humanitarian consequence. Akufo-Addo was speaking as he hosted Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz, also called for changes. He noted the recent inclusion of the African Union as a member of the G20 as a good development, but added that we also support efforts for permanent African seats on the UN Security Council. Let's take a look.
Ghana's president has called for reform of the United Nations Security Council, citing conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza. Nana Akufo-Addo described the council as, in many ways, not fit for purpose.
The classic example is what is happening over the Ukraine conflict, where the nation that is the aggressor is also the veto-wielding country, and which is blocking any initiatives that the Security Council can take over the conflict.
Akufo-Addo also pointed to the conflict in Gaza. He said that while Ghana fully recognized Israel's right to defend itself, at the same time, you have to look at the humanitarian consequences.
There's clearly a need for us, all of us, the international community, the global community, to look beyond the immediate issues of the consequences of the Hamas attacks on Israel, to be looking at the possibility of a comprehensive settlement of this matter.
Akufo-Addo was speaking as he hosted Germany's Chancellor on Tuesday. Olaf Scholz also called for changes.
I believe that African states need to be better represented in international organizations and should have a stronger voice.
He noted the recent inclusion of the African Union as a member of the G20 as a good development, but added that we also support efforts for permanent African seats on the UN Security Council.
Let's get into our weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect showers with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. Handys Bay can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. We'll take a look at our sports news shortly.
Welcome to Sunset News, brought to you by SportRep. I'm Limba Mupetami. After playing to a 2-0 loss last week Thursday in the second round of the African qualifiers for the 2024 Olympic Games at Grand Stadium in Marrakesh, the Brave Gladiators once again faltered 2-0 in the second leg match, which was played on Tuesday in Rabat. They are out of the qualifiers and will focus on the Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, that is. Jeremiah Nakathila says they're going to fight in America on 11th November for the junior welterweight 10-round fight is not by luck but through sheer hard work. He states that he has earned the fight against America's undefeated junior welterweight prospect Ernesto Mercado and is proud of himself and his team. Lastly, the FNB Women's Super League was launched today by the Namibia Football Association at Soccer House in Katutura. The league will kick off this November with 12 teams battling for the prize money of $250,000. That ends today's show. Catch us again tomorrow, same place, same time.
That was Limba Mupetami with the sports news. Let's take a look at the news highlights from today's broadcast. President Hage Geingob this morning officially inaugurated the new and improved $12.6 million emergency unit at the Katutura State Hospital alongside the MVA Fund and Standard Bank. Geingob said that this shows the commitment of corporate Namibia to ensuring every Namibian receives quality healthcare, which is a fundamental human right. Miss Namibia organization has revealed the national costume Miss Namibia 2023 Jamila Wiras will be wearing when she represents the country at the 72nd Miss Universe pageant on Saturday, the 18th of November in San Salvador, El Salvador. The costume, named RX Diamond, was designed by Namibian fashion designers Mwatile Kapolola and Nadia Wilson. Former world title challenger Namibian boxer Jeremiah Nakathila is set to face undefeated junior welterweight prospect Ernesto Mercado of America on the 11th of November in a 10-round main event in Ontario. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25. every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.